Welcome to another episode of the Vigilant Podcast. I am Favor Aya, and with me here today is
Elizabeth.
Alright, on the last episode of this very podcast, we discussed education versus skill, on which we came to a conclusion that the both are very important and cannot stand without the other. So we advise that everyone should rather pursue the two if you can, as they both standardize your life. So that will lead us to a very much interesting topic that is trending today, and that is about result and certificate forgery. So Elizabeth, what do you think about this very topic? What is your mind?
Well, Favor, I have to admit that this topic is quite an intriguing one because I feel it is something that has been at the corner waiting for somebody to talk about it. And so I feel we're going to have a nice one, talking about this issue and trashing it out.
Exactly.
And I feel that the listeners, we have a lot to pick and also, suggestions to give to us.
So we found out that actually that the one trending now has not been the only case of result certificate forgery. There have been ones that have happened in the past, in 2012, 2019, a lot of them. Even in the recent past, we have a case of Ejikeme Mesoma, and that will be what we'll be doing on the podcast today. We'll be doing major retrospects on past issues, cases of result and certificate forgery. On that, you can follow us on Spotify, subscribe to our channel, The Vigilant Podcast, to hear more of these interesting topics. You're welcome back once again. And like we said, we are talking about certificate, result, forgery, what we think about it, our mind towards this particular case. And we said that we are going to do retrospect, take us down memory lane, things that happened, similar cases. And I will start with this very one that most of us know happened between the first week and the third week of July, the case of a young schoolgirl, Ejikeme Mesoma, who was accused of tampering with her UTME result and raising it to 362. That was quite a score. And she had already attended celebrity status. Everybody was talking about her on social media until the examination body came in and said she is lying. No, she did not actually get the score, but this further led to bantering and trading of words on social media, especially Twitter and Facebook. Like we know, Twitter Nigeria, that's their work. So as people were vilifying, some people were vilifying Jam, some other people were vilifying Mesoma, saying she's lying, we believe Jam. Most other citizens did not believe Jam because we have had cases of when they said that snakes swallowed money and so many other things like that. So because of that, people doubted that they were saying the truth. They believed that they were trying to coerce the girl to say that she actually forged the result. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they came out with evidences, and beyond every reasonable doubt, they were able to convince Nigerians that this una youngest star, una little star, Ejikeme Mesoma, actually forged her results. So we now after all that happened, we left that for that. That has happened to a common person in Burna Boy's language. With all this being said, this happened like months back. We are now looking at today. So Elizabeth, considering the things and comments that are going on, especially on Twitter. I used to say Twitter because that's where citizens pour their minds and say what they think or whose side that they belong. So considering the things and comments that are going on about a recent certificate forgery by a major person, by a first-class citizen, I'm beginning to ask this question: is what's good for the goose still good for the gander? considering the precepts of the rule of law which the country say that they are practicing, do you think that this rule of law is still for everyone, or is it made for we commoners?
Let me clear my voice before I speak.
It's a long thing.
That question is quite a question, because the truth is that we know that the rule of law already gives some immunity to some people. You know, the rule of law states that the law is supreme over everybody. But then in the rule of law, there are already glitches to the rule of law, because the rule of law provides immunity for the head of state, for ambassadors and all that.
Really?
So that is, these people can actually be prosecuted by the law. They have an immunity over the law. So I feel that with the recent certification, forgery that is going on, alleged forgery.
Yes.
Let me, say the right words, because it's alleged. It's not yet proven. There are no evidences to show. I feel that this issue of forging certificates is eating deep into the Nigerian system. Like it's just like it's being transferred from the up to the down part, like from the higher ups to those at the down part, and linking it to the Mesoma situation, or what transpired between Mesoma and Jam. I feel that the way Mesoma's case was addressed should be the same way this is addressed.
Exactly.
Because people are actually just taking things on the slide note. Nobody's doing anything. But when it came to Mesoma, and see, believe me, see Twitter. Twitter is for the strong.
Yes.
If you don't have someone like me, I can't be on Twitter.
Stay away because you don't get strong mind.
If you are not strong mentally, like Twitter is a place where people just, they're so. Their words are so blunt
in the language they are woke.
And that is because that platform, like X, it affords you the opportunity of speaking your mind.
Yes.
Okay, there's nobody coming to like Facebook, they ban you, they do all that, or they restrict your account. So I feel like you asked me that is the law still working, like when we related to this case. I just have to say this, that the law is actually giving it's actually being partial.
If you should say,
if we should look at Mesoma's case and this current one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I actually found out that this Mesoma case has not been the only one.
Wow.
We have cases in 2012 when Kaduna Governor Patrick Yakowa runs a test on some of the public school teachers, like about 2,000 of them, and he found out that almost all of them forged their result. They were operating with forged results. We also have a case that was around 3rd December 2019 when our former finance minister, Mrs. Adosh, when she retired because she forged NYSC exemption certificate. So it baffles me what extent that people will do in order to fill up offices or get what they don't actually deserve. So I'm asking, why do you think that people forge their result instead of going through the normal process, ending it the legit way, or you rather stay out of things that require those certificates instead of forging them? So what do you think? Why do you think that people do those things?
No. There are many sides to a coin, so you can't really just be so certain that this is the reason why people are doing it. Yeah. For some people, they feel they are smart and they can outsmart the law. And since Nigeria is a country that has proven over time that the law is weak in giving justice, or moreover, when you watch those kind of Korean movies or those kind of American movies where you see the way they handle cases and they do investigation, in Nigeria, investigation are not done properly. So most persons feel they can outsmart the law, and they succeed in doing that because there are some cases like that in the past that have been left, uninvestigated, and it just died down that way. And to some persons, in a decade like this, or let me say in a time like this where major emphasis or importance has been placed on certificate to occupy certain high-ranking positions.
Exactly.
A lot of persons who feel that they are disadvantaged or unable to acquire them, they are forced to do this. They are forced to forge certificates. But then the question is forging certificate the way out? Why earn a position through crooked means when you can actually, go through the right means?
Because my problem is that these things they are short-lived.
Very short-lived.
Like it can last you 10 years, but eventually you are going to get caught.
Just like the Bible says.
Do they even sleep well at night?
I don't really know, but because I feel, most of this, and the problem is that the people who forge this certificate, believe me, most of them have worked in these offices because they have the signature, they have the stamps. I mean, how did they come about those signatures that actually is the similar with
You can
whoever
never
had that
differentiate.
office? Or maybe they do hire people who are good at, I don't really know, but the way it is so authentic, you can't really tell, except maybe on cases whereby, investigation has been done and it comes up in the limelight or in the light that so certificates were forged. So the problem is a lot of people do this because they feel they are disadvantaged. Some could be peer pressure.
Yeah.
Just like in the case of Mesoma, I won't really say that this young girl might have been alone. I feel some persons might have coerced her. And again, the situation in the country is actually bad for young Jambai looking for admission. So it must have been those circumstances that actually pushed her into agreeing to the influence of people, to forge or, to raise up our JAMB scores. And moreover, that period, there was this site that was circulating that you can actually just impute your name and everything, and it gives you a WAEC result and all that. I'm amazed at how Nigerians can be so creative in forging certificates.
For me, in my own opinion, I believe Mesoma did it in order to appease her parents and friends, because believe me, that result, she can't get to any institution with that result. They are going to know when you start doing your clearances and everything, it will tell on you. So I think she was thinking like the young girl, this little girl she is. She was trying to impress her friends, and I think also that the country rather took it too hard on her for DSS to be involved, for her to stand before the Senate because she forged. Don't misunderstand me. We are not trying to justify her actions, but we are saying that we believe that the country, the right bodies took it quite too harshly on how to involve DSS for a secondary school girl to make her to stand before panels and call her on television lives. I think that's quite too much for a person of her age. But that is okay, it's fine, it's all now in the past. I'm just thinking, why are they not doing it?
The same.
For these people that are trending right now, nobody is saying anything. Their aides are coming out to defend and everything. I really learned something from Mesoma. She came out at the end of everything and publicly said something to Rose that, okay, I did this and I'm really sorry. I acted in a way that is not good and I'm sorry about this. But today, some other person is being dragged on the street of Twitter, and we have not had a thing from the so first class citizen. So I'm still thinking, and I'm still doubting that all of us, the law is working for all of us in the country the same way. But just like you said, those people have immunity towards this thing. So this will also bring me to a discovery I made, that there are places that are known to be the den of this certificate forgery, like a street in Lagos, I think it's Oluwole. It's known for its famous, notorious forging of results. Where I grew up in Onitsha, I know of a place like Old Market Road. You can go there and get anything, any certificate. Is it for your task, for your driving license, anything you can forge? But being a young guy, I never knew that they actually forge university certificate until of recent. So my question comes this way: these authorities, they know that these things are going on and they know the locations. So why do you think they are not tackling these people? Why do you think they are just looking at it and relax and they don't want to do anything? Because those people are opening their shops every day and running their businesses, and you know that this is what's going on here. But you pass there every day in your car, you are a person in authority, and you cannot say, let's look into the things these people are doing, because it's quite bringing down the country. So why do you think that these people are not doing the right thing?
Well, it's just like when you call the name Nigeria, just attach the name corruption to it. Now, this is a very good question. And my response to this would be, you said there is a place, like I'm amazed that it's actually a street where they actually...
It is known.
Wow,
I saw a lot of
have
comments.
businesses.
Yes.
And it is built online.
And it might even be registered.
Well, the truth is that the reason why authorities will not take any action is because certain amount goes into some people's pockets. And, I told someone one time, I said that the law favors those who have money. It is who have money that has justice. So justice is not actually for the victim, but for the person who bids higher, who can pay the higher money. So I feel the reason why maybe authorities are not taking actions, even maybe when they may have reported that people do this, is because some key persons are actually pocketing some money coming from those people. And also, there are people who are benefiting from this forged certificate. I mean, you can forge driver license, you can do a lot of things. If you are the one, you can forge the document of a house and own it. Won't you do it? I mean, see, in the situation in the country, I'm not justifying their actions, but I feel we should strike a balance that most times when you look at the reason why these people do these things, it feels like it is justifiable. But on the other hand, when we look at it from the part of truth, okay? Alright, we're trying to stand on the path of truth. You see that these people are actually in the wrong and the law should actually take necessary action. But then, when the authorities in place are actually benefiting from all this, I mean, why will there actually be progress, or why will this issue actually be trashed out? So I think that there is a whole lot of investigation that needs to be done, and the more people keep investigating, the more a lot of cases that you don't even know of will start coming up. But then the daring question to ask is, who is bold enough to investigate deeper? I mean, in this country where we are, it's scary to, do some things or do some, like, it's scary because your life is not really...
And those people you're trying to investigate on, they are highly connected. They have people. So if you try to do it, they will come after you through those people that you're actually working for. This is really taking us somewhere. We are going. This topic is deep and very, really very deep. So I'm just trying to imagine, because I've thought of it. We have said a lot of people are saying things.
Exactly.
If you go to Twitter, it's one of the trendy hashtags and everything. And I've been going through different persons' posts and what they're saying, and they all make meaning in their own way. They all make meaning. But I'm really scared because debates like this had come up in the past, even in the recent past. And all of a sudden, they died down. We never had anything of it again. It was as if you people are making noise, and when you are done, you should let us know when you are done. Or maybe they will be there and sitting down and say, we know them. It will only last for a week or 2 or 3. And at the end of the day, everybody will go back to their businesses and face their problem. After all, we know what the country is telling on us now. We know the fuel price. And so when you remember that you have to make money to live, you go live waiting there Twitter and face real life. Mm-hmm. So I believe I'm scared because I believe they are actually waiting for people to talk, and when you're done, you go back and we continue with our life. So this where we now ask, what is the way forward? Should we as citizens relent? Should we stop saying what we are saying? Should we close our eyes towards the odds that are going on in the country? Should we be at we are blind, or should we just blindfold ourselves and say we no longer talk about these things, we no longer engage in things concerning politics because it feels like we are not doing anything at the end of the day? Or do you think we should continue talking that someday these things are going to result to something? Because I feel that all this we are saying, we are not making any effort. I've not seen us make any effort through all these banters and exchanging of words on Twitter, Facebook, and all of those platforms. So I am asking, because we are all citizens. Forget every day here, we all be citizens. So our question now is, should we continue saying the truth? Should we continue seeking for evidence and seeking for clarity, or should we just go back to our businesses and allow them to do what they feel they should do at the end of the day?
All right, Favor, I have to disagree with you on something you said.
Okay.
You said all we do in Nigeria is banter and we don't take action. I might have to digress a little. Let me take you back to the NSAS. I feel Nigerians came out. Nigerian youths came all out. They were burning in fervor and in passion to voice out. But let me tell you something. Just like the spirit of silence theory, the truth is that in a country like Nigeria, we see this theory repeat itself. The voice of the majority is actually the minority in this country. Because the youth came out, and Nigeria is a country that is known to have a population that is large. And,
yes.
And a major of the population is youth. They came out, they took action, but what happened? It ended in a Black Friday, or I can't really tell the day, but I know that it was the black moment for the youth of this country. We mourned our own people. I also want to take you to many situations. Okay, let's make reference to the election. This was the first time Nigerian youths came out of, like, in the history of the election, a large number of youth votes. But what happened? See, a lot of things has happened that has made us feel our voice is not heard. So I feel in Nigeria, it will always remain banters. It will always remain just speculations, talks, and all that. And people who are moved to take action will be discouraged by the previous occurrences and happening and the direction that their actions, took and everything, despite everything they did. So the only thing I can't comment on this is that, as citizens of this great nation, we all want to see Nigeria grow, and we can't keep mute when we see things like this happening. We see people who are not really qualified taking up positions. Why we labor, we go to school. I mean, 4 years in school, not be beans. You are
some 7.
We are doing TDB, today break. I mean, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and buys us away with forgery or money. So because these things affect us, and it's actually making those who are qualified to be at a disadvantage, okay, and those who are not to be at an unfair advantage, in the sense that they have a certificate that is being bought or forged that can promote them higher than us. I feel we need to keep giving our own opinion. We cannot keep mute, exactly. Because if we keep mute, it means that we are also comfortable. And what makes a participating democracy is that everybody is contributing. So as for those of you who have a way of saying yours, please make sure you're saying the right things. Don't just be there to catch crews with this situation. Don't just be there to point accusing fingers or to incite people. Ensure you're doing the right thing. Ensure you're speaking the truth. And for those of you who feel that, it's not my business, please advise you, continue with your daily life. Continue with your daily life. Let me tell you.
Like very normal, we say, don't play, you will learn.
This banter will not put food on your table. So if you join them to talk and talk, it will still move on. However, deep in our hearts, we pray and hope that one day, we are going to have people who are going to stand up for the truth. It might take us, decades, but I know that there is eventually hope. Do you believe there is hope?
I believe.
There's a little bit of faith in me that there will be hope for us.
And let me chip this in to you out there dragging this person for some said alleged certificate forgery, but you are using a fake driver's license,
even age,
a fake birth certificate, a fake tax receipt, And all of those, now all of una dey the same shoe. So let it not be a case of hypocrisy.
Exactly.
So before you drag someone out there because they are the ones in public, you better go home and sort out your own things. There's nothing as beautiful as being genuine. There's nothing as beautiful as being legit. You will sleep and you sleep very well. Because myself, if I should have a fake certificate, I will tell you the truth. Anything wey concern, there's how my employer will talk, my mind will just do film, because I don't know what will take them back to saying let's go and review this person's certificate. But when you have something genuine, you're working with authority, you are sleeping well, you owe nobody nothing. So this is me saying to people out there, if you are dragging someone else whereas you are holding something, a receipt, a certificate, a license that is fake, it's all in the same shoe. So you should actually treat yours and address yours before you go out there. And also, coming to the end of this podcast, we would like to know your view. What do you think? Do you disagree with us? Fine. Do you believe in what we have said? Fine. You give your own contributions. We want to know your opinion concerning the things that we have said. And if you have your own addition, what you want to add and what you want to suggest, that would be very fine by us. So you can join us next time and also follow up for more interesting topics on this very podcast on Spotify. We are the Vigilant. Thank you very much and see you next time. I am Eya Obimakafego. I would need
Elizabeth Fidelis.
Thank you.